We are here at the Mixed Blood Theater here, where is a production by the New Arab Theaters in the place, and Rosette is a play of a young Palestinian girl that was born in 48, and it reflects on the playwright's life and drawn from his family and actual the story of Palestine, all the Palestinians. So we're going to be talking to the playwright, William Nour, and also Kafi Haddad, the founder of Arab American Theater.
Our theater is called New Arab American Theater Works, and we were founded in 2012, so that's 12 years ago. Our mission is to present and create stories about the Arab American experience, to develop plays, to present them with our community, for our community, and by our community. And we have done several plays over the years. And actually, we are renting the space of Mixed Blood. This isn't a Mixed Blood production. So our theater...
How does that work?
Well, this is what most small theaters do that. Most small theaters don't have a building. And so when it's time for them to produce a play, there's several houses in town that they go to, like the Southern Theater, the Mixed Blood Theater, the Heart of the Beast Theater. There's many. Like, for instance, Pangea World Theater, which has been around longer than we, they don't have a space either. They don't have a physical space, so they will also rent a theater. So
let's talk about to the start of the evening today. I mean, tell us, you're a playwright, and are you acting in the play?
No, I am not.
Okay, tell us a little about Rosetta. I mean, it's when I read a little bit of review about it, it's almost the story of Palestine.
Mm-hmm. You know. First life was during an incubator program with New Arab American Theater Works. We had several playwrights came together, and we did an online. That was during the pandemic, mostly. And the story was about, it is semi-autobiographical, and in as much it is also the story of most Palestinians who were displaced in 1948. Half the population went to refugee camps around the Palestine, to neighboring countries. The Nakba, yes. And so the family of Rosette is a 16-year-old young woman born the year of the Nakba. She does not have any memory of the experience of pre-occupation. So she is learning about her world now, that they are displaced internally, her family, and living in Haifa, a big city that's attracting a lot of immigrants from Europe. It's very different for her, traditions of her family. So there's a struggle between her and her family about traditions, what is expected for her, whether it's marriage, it's education. So I've learned a lot about my family when I was writing it and researching that. It was a wonderful experience to be able to be with other playwrights, with New Arab American Theater Works, to develop the play, read each other's work, give feedback. So there's a lot of growth that way.
And a lot of what's going on in Gaza right now, and in Lebanon, and the genocide been going on for almost a year now. I know that you wrote this before this. So how what you see is going on in Gaza now reflects have you done any change?
I've actually not changed the story because what is happening in Gaza is sort of a continuation of what happened in 1948, 1967, and other times conflict where Palestinians are displaced from their lands and homes and separated from their families. It's happened before and it's happening still. And I did not have to change the story. The story is continuing, and it was a big pain to be writing this and seeing what is happening in Gaza. That was very difficult, yeah. But I was more determined to write it because we have to tell the story.
Process of bringing an artistic production to life.
That's a great question, and similar to what Willie said, there's with him wanting to write more because of what's happening in Gaza, I feel a strong pull to do this work because it needs to be done. And so, at the risk of sounding maybe kind of trite, but I find it really honestly a great joy to be able to to be able to do these types of things, to be able to create these projects, to be able to give space for our community to tell stories, to to bring people in to see the work that I feel like needs to be seen, that isn't seen, that isn't shown. We don't show up even now in people of color spaces. Even just a few days ago, I was applying for funding from a organization, and when they go ask us to check, how do we fit, there's no box for us. There's not even another. And so even today in 2024, they still are not telling our story. We're still not included even in the spaces where, are considered BIPOC alternative spaces. We still are.
How difficult it is to tell a Palestinian story to the American audience.
It is difficult, but it's easier if I tell it for our community. And the mainstream has knowledge, they hear what the media says, mainstream media and so on. But I focus on telling the story to my community, people who understand what it is that we are going through. And I think I want the American non-Arab or community to meet us there. They will hear it from us, told as it happened. We are not changing it, right? I write the stories as I know them from my family. So the events that happened are very real in the play. And then, of course, I embellish the conversations, and I throw in some humor that I learned from my observation. You have to be very observant, I think, as a writer, and listen well to people. And so in my family, I had perfect characters, right? So I draw from that, and it's beautiful. It's I get so engrossed in it that I start to feel the emotions that maybe the character is feeling, and suddenly I'm so sad, like, oh my God, I made Rosette so sad, right? Rosette I take it from my grandmother's name, Rosette. She was displaced in 1948 from the village near Nazareth, Nasira, El Mjaydel. And they ran away they were exiled to Lebanon, and they lived in refugee camps. And they went through the civil war in Lebanon. And then at the end of her age, she ended up in Denmark. She had given asylum there. And she lived for about 5 more years with Alzheimer's. And then I saw her a couple of times there. She didn't know me. I saw her 4 times in my life because of the borders, with Lebanon and Palestine, occupied Palestine. And so that she inspired me.
After talking to Kathy and Willie, the playwright, I went downstairs, and in the front was this table and a display of a picture of watermelon.
So my name is Sanat Wazwaz. I'm the program and admin assistant at New Arab American Theater Works. And Palestine is my life. It is the soul of my soul. And this purse is the way that I represent Palestine everywhere that I go. I get a lot of compliments. I get a lot of people telling me, oh, I love watermelons. I eat watermelon. I'm like, do you know what it means? They're like, oh, I don't.
Most of watermelon in America with seedless.
Yeah.
So how you explain this to an American?
How it ends. Palestinians were banned by the IDF from displaying the Palestinian flag, and so there was a poet that made like a sarcastic joke, and he was like, well, are we going to display the watermelon instead? Because it has the same colors as the flag. And that took off on social media and within Palestinian society, and so people then kind of use this now as their way of representing Palestine. And whereas everybody wants to suppress us, they want us to stop displaying the flag, stop saying Free Palestine, we're saying Free Palestine even in our fruit, man. We're saying it in our purses. Like,
Almost 100 people attended the play, and it was a great reception after the play, and the attendants had a chance to ask the actor and actress some questions. It was a great conversation.
Is what what inspired you to write this play, especially around a young woman, and specifically in the year of 1966? Is there something special about that year? The year before the military occupation was truly formalized, the year before the Naksa, where another 430,000 Palestinians were displaced.
10 years after the occupation, and I didn't know what my parents went through. So I started learning and asking my parents things, and then I remembered many things that I had gone through. For example, a lot of the information is autobiographical because I either experienced it or I had learned it from my family.
Then I had a chance to talk to some of the actors and some of the fans who attended the play. A little bit about your background and how did you get involved in this play?
My name is Claudia Garcia. I played Ida in the play Rosette. How did I get involved? Well, I auditioned for Willie and New Arab American Theater Works in mid-March, and I was cast a few weeks later. It is an honor to be a part of this play, playing Ida, Rosette's mother. Very, very easy to connect with this story. Very familiar with family separation, deportation. I'm Mexican American, and I haven't seen my brother since I was 16, and I'm 37 now. So this play is very powerful and beautiful, and I hope if you are in the Twin Cities, you have one weekend left to come see it.
Trey, how you prepare for this role?
Well, first of all, I walked in the audition room. I wasn't sure what I was up for. And I was actually auditioning for Yusuf. And all of a sudden I got the call got cast for Jamil. And I had no idea who this guy is till I start reading the script and try to break down the character. I had to watch a lot of documentaries about, the Nakba, 1948.
Really?
Yes, I had to watch a lot of different documentary from. Actually, no, not even that. It was just very old, because it was still there was videos in 1948. And clips about, the occupation, and after that people got separated and moved to Haifa. So it was just so much, deep emotions that I can relate to it, that I'm as an Arab man. But it was just so much to watch, and I didn't realize how much connection I have till I start, seeing the character, and finally I had to stop because it was so much,
I am 44 years old. I played Yusuf in the play, and I heard about the rehearsals by coincidence, so I went to meet some people, make some new friends, and I got the role.
You have background in acting?
No, it was my first time.
Come on, and do you have any acting experience?
Yeah, actually I'm from Tunisia, and I'm an actress. I did a film in Tunis called The Sons of Lords. It's a tough mom, it's opposite way. It was tough mom. Her name is Eliamina. And I'm doing theater, and I have a lot of passion to this, so I love to do it. Something that I love to do it.
Okay, look at here. We have VIP here coming to the play here with our Attorney General Keith Allison. Welcome to the show. How did you find out about this show, and what do you think?
So I was listening to Minnesota Public Radio, and I think that one of the host sponsors was interviewing William Nour. And I said, that sounds really interesting. So I said to my wife, let's do our date night at Mixed Blood Theater. She said, okay. And so we came out, and we just both loved it. And, I tell you that I think it is a very critical part of helping people understand what is going on in Palestine and Gaza right now. And we hear horrific numbers like 40,000 dead, several million displaced. These large numbers are difficult for the human being we can relate to. The nuance, not all Arabs are Muslim, not all Muslims are Arab. You know, not all Muslims are really devout. Some are more secular, and it's a wide range. The Arab culture is close to nature, and you know the plowing up. So when you see this play, and you hear about the closeness of the mint, the emotional attachment to the land, then you hear a story about plowing up olive trees. Then you understand how devastating culturally those destruction of those trees really are. The destruction of the oregano, the mint, the thyme, the figs, the tomatoes, and it's like
the history of the land.
The history of the land, and you get when my trips to the Holy Land teach me that those plants, when you rip them out of the ground, it's like ripping the heart out of a human being, and but it's hard to translate that humanity in a statistic. So I think that this play is phenomenal, and I'm going to recommend it to everybody.
Because
you're an actress, too?
I am.
Where?
Currently, I am in a show called Wellstone, the Minnesota musical. His history and
Playing with Stone here.
Yes.
Nice.
So that.
Okay,
yeah.
let's forget about your show. This is your show.
No, I was thrilled to hear about this group being formed, the Arab Coalition, and it's amazing that the writing was phenomenal. The set was great. The costuming, the characters really came to life, and I enjoyed it. And I thought it was pertinent to today and the history and bringing it forward.
Ahmad Thoroat from Mixed Blood Theater, where they are showing Rosette, a world premiere by William Nour, directed by Taous Khazem.